Married at First Sight, season 18, Juancho and Karla. So Juancho is saying that he is being blackmailed, y'all, and he has had a lot to say about it in a very short amount of time. In my last video recap of season 18's reunion part 1, I shared an edited version of Juancho's video accusing Karla and her family of blackmail. Well, not only have I done some digging around to learn more about this story, but I reached out to both Carla and Juancho for some clarity. Hi, I'm Tamara, and this is Tamara Lynette Tells. So I reached out to both of them. However, as of the moment of me producing this video, Carla has responded, but Juancho has not. Not only did Carla respond, but she also provided some receipts. So even though Wancho didn't respond to me, he's written and said a lot. I mean, a lot online that I'm able to use to paint a picture for you of his version of what happened. So let's get into this story time and stay with me because there are a couple of side stories to the main story that I'll sprinkle in to give you a fuller picture. So this started a few weeks ago at the end of February 26th to be exact, when Owancho created a post on Reddit to ask fans for votes. He's since deleted the post, but I have my ways and I was able to recover it. Here's what he said in the post. Hi, Mavs Army. I know I get mixed reviews. Some of you hate me, some of you love me, and some of you couldn't care less. But I wanted to reach out and ask for a huge favor. I recently entered an entrepreneur contest, and in order to get to the next round, I need to be in first place. With that said, I was hoping you could all click the link, give me your vote. Thank you all so much for your kindness and following our journey the entire season. Sincerely, Juan Franco. So he was asking for votes for a competition he entered called the Entrepreneur of Impact, where the winner receives a mentoring by Shark Tank's Damon John and an advertorial in Forbes and a cash prize of 25,000 schmackaroos. So Redditors hopped in the comments and mostly wrote kind remarks about how he carried himself on the show, or they were just writing to let him know that they voted for him. I would say about 99.99% of the comments were positive, praising him for being such a good guy. Good guy was a common theme in this thread. His fan club really showed up for him. Wancho replied to the majority of the comments and kept them respectful. In the end, in terms of the competition, he took third place in his category, not overall, but in his category. The competition has moved on to the semifinal round. So in the meantime, he and Carla were texting the day he put up his post on Reddit. So Carla was upset with Wancho. Based on my conversation with Carla, I believe the main reason she was upset is because on the show, he lied about her to push the narrative of him being a good guy. And clearly it worked by all of the responses he received in Reddit. So I'll tell you an example she gave later about his lying. So Carla shared some of the conversations she and Wancho had the day of the Reddit post. Her responses are in blue, and here's how it went. Website is almost done. By the way, I will talk to Myra and see who she got as a supplier once they finish and how they set it all up. I actually really don't like you right now. Why is that? For reasons I don't care to share and thought you should know instead of me ignoring you. I'm sorry you feel that way. I have nothing against you. I think you're a good person. As I've said before, I'm in a different place now and I can't keep going back to what happened on the show. I'll have Evie email, and any information on Wancho's Ponchos can be discussed that way. I'm happy for you. Thank you. Hey, Carla, I'd also like to start preparing the divorce process since the last episode is coming up. I'll fill out the paperwork and take care of the filing fees. What is your address? I need this so I can serve you the divorce documents. My attorney is waiting to hear back from the show, so I'll wait on that. Okay, well, let me know when they get back to you. I would like to get this done sooner than later. Let production handle this. You and I don't need to communicate. I will not update you. We can figure it out then. We both are just awaiting the time they let us know. And I told you I don't like you. Noted. I will not contact you any longer. This is pretty childish, Karla, but have it your way. I never did anything to you, so I'm not really sure where this is coming from. Me expressing my dislike for you at the moment is a very healthy way expressing myself. If you think it's childish, that's your opinion. I also have opinions about you that I've always chosen to keep to myself, but you, on the other hand, have no problem expressing yours. I'm just being honest with you, Juan. You have also been texting me recently, and I can't text back as if you don't bother me. Best friends should be able to speak their truth in a safe space. Carla, I have no issues with you. I also have things that I've never said in public about you and never will. I'm listening to you and I'm here for whenever you calm down. I'm very calm. Why would you have an issue with me? Carla, let's just keep it cool. No one did anything to one here. There's no reason to be mad. I'll wait for you to tell me how you want to proceed with divorce. I think text messages can get lost in translation. I assure you, everything's cool. I just wanted to express that we don't need weekly messages. I wish you the best always. XO. Thank you, Carla. I wish you the best always, also. So Karla said after this exchange, she blocked Juan from her phone and all social media. So this was February 26th. Okay, so back to the Reddit post. The day after Juancho put up the post and after the text exchange with Karla, a YouTube channel called It Takes Two created a video criticizing Juancho's Reddit request and also said he robbed Karla of an opportunity. Now, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch the YouTuber's video. I know what they said based on snooping around and reading through the comments. So, anyway, a Juancho decided to leave a comment on this YouTuber's channel to defend his honor, but in doing so, he laid into Karla. By the way, did I say comment? Because this was more like a memoir or a one man show, if you will. It's long, but I'm going to read it to you. He said, "Hi, guys. First off, thank you for taking the time to put this together. I openly received the criticism and I appreciate it. I hear you. You all feel like I robbed Karla of an opportunity, but I challenge you all to look at it from another perspective. I signed up for a social experiment called Married at First Sight, which is literally how they market the show, a social experiment. So basically, the premise of the show is to get married to a complete stranger who the experts match you with. You live with that stranger for 8 weeks and get to know them to see if there's enough there to continue a marriage, which is exactly what I did. There's no contractual obligation stating that you have to respect, love, cherish, change, etc. that person. Every person that signs up for the experiment handles it however they choose. When I signed up, I had been single for 2 years. I saw they were doing the casting for Chicago season, so I thought it would be an interesting way to potentially meet the love of my life. But again, I reiterate what I said on Reddit. This is a reality TV show, and the company that produces the show is a for profit entity. This show is made for ratings, so I wasn't going to be hung up if they didn't match me, as you can clearly see from other participants season after season, which is why I chose to make the best of the experience regardless of what was thrown at me. I'd like to dig into the comment that I robbed Karla of an experience. I have no issues with Karla. Like I said on Reddit, I think of the world of Karla and her family and wish her nothing but the best. With that said, if you look at it from a different perspective, I didn't rob Karla of anything, and she also didn't rob me of anything. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. My focus was not on the physical because I know that beauty isn't enough to gel anyone past one night. Plus, if I was just looking for someone beautiful, believe me, I've never had an issue even with a bald spot. So I wouldn't have even went on Married at First Sight. Now, when I saw Karla, yes, I thought she was beautiful. She has a nice face and eyes, but physically, she's not my type. So I continued forward to get to know the rest of her. As I got to know Karla, I noticed she was really into crystals, burning Palo Santo, astrology, cards, hugging trees, etc. Things that I'm just not into. Just because my brother does tarot card readings doesn't mean that I need to like that lifestyle. My mother is a diehard Catholic, doesn't define me either. Next thing I noticed was that she let her lease run out, and I actually helped her move all of her stuff to the storage unit. I get it because she saved on rent, but for the purpose of the experiment, showing responsibility and stability, not the best move. I also noticed that Karla didn't own a car, which was like, okay, whatever, but I guess I'll be driving. Again, I continued forward without judgment and conducting myself with respect. Then, a week later, Karla gets let go from a salon she was working at because she didn't see eye to eye with the owner. Again, not the best look when you're trying to show a complete stranger that you're worth a long term investment of time, love, and energy. As we continued to live together, I noticed that my spouse didn't really care for cooking as I did all of the cooking. In one of the episodes, you can actually see how she didn't know how to turn on a gas oven. I also did 75% of the cleaning. Fine, I moved on respectfully, getting to know her. Lastly, we spent a lot of time together, and there was a lot you all didn't see, but I was turned off by her attitude behind scenes. I'm sure Karla could come up with a laundry list of things she didn't like about me, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm not perfect. But again, the reason we both said no on decision day. Why wasn't I intimate with Karla? For starters, I'm not desperate. I don't need to go on a show to get laid. Secondly, I did care about Karla's feelings, and allowing myself to be intimate with Karla without feeling anything at all would have complicated things between her and I. Also, because that just wasn't my focus. If I'm not emotionally, intellectually, or spiritually into you, trust me, I'm not going to be physically into you. Why did I take to Reddit to ask a favor? I never begged anyone to do anything because I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, considering I've been reading and listening to people trash talk all of us for the last 6 months. I felt like it was kind of earned. Luckily, 98% of the folks on the thread were super supportive and cool. I also took the time to thank every single person, answer questions, and address criticism, which took a ton of time out of my day. When I signed up for the show, I was just as hopeful as any of the other participants, but I also had extremely realistic expectations, and I wasn't going to let anything or anyone kill my vibe. I'm sure all of us, Karla included, and anyone that signs up for a reality TV experience is also open as myself to doors those experiences may open, and rightfully so after months and months of criticisms, judgments, etc. Not complaining, by the way, because that's what I signed up for. Finally, to all the haters talking about I'm a wannabe entrepreneur businessman, I have worked extremely hard for everything I have. I bust my tail every day. I have a 6-figure job plus uncapped commission. I also have a company called Franco Millwork Lab and Design, which has done $469,000 in sales in the first quarter of 2025. I also have an app, which was a vision that I had, unlike most people who are too afraid to chase their dreams. Believe me, I make sacrifices, but I don't struggle. My intention with this response is not to put Karla down. I know a lot of you love her, and I think that's awesome. My intention is to clear up why we didn't jive from my perspective, and I was only responsible for making an assessment of the stranger I was matched with in order to make a decision, not to bring up all these things to try to change them. Again, I think Karla is a great person. I think her family is great, and I wish Karla nothing but the best things in life. Woo! Okay, I told you it was long. Wancho had a lot to say, and it wasn't all nice. So he posted that long comment. Then Carla's sister hopped in the comments and posted a response. She said, "Ooh, wee, Wancho. Now that you got that off your chest, do you want to tell them the real reason it didn't work out and the big secret Karla had to keep for you after only knowing you for 24 hours? I'll sit here and wait." Smiley face. So Rancho responded, Hey there. I never said anything about Karla on here that everyone didn't already see on TV, except the fact that I wasn't fond of her attitude behind the scenes, even that TV showed on the honeymoon. Other than that, everything I mentioned herein are the things that have been aired. I'm not making anything up. There were also other things about Karla that I didn't like, which she did off camera, that I'll never mention on camera as not to jeopardize her integrity or reputation. Whatever you choose to believe or share about my personal life is up to y'all. I'm not going to get into a battle of blackmail. I will engage my lawyer and let him handle that matter. It's not blackmail. It's an invitation to speak the truth. Trying to defame Karla with your lies will not get rid of your insecurities, Juanchito. So after this exchange, Wancho hopped on his Instagram to let everyone know Karla and her family were blackmailing him because he felt in their minds he's only allowed to say nice things about Karla. So it started with this post in his IG stories where he accused Karla of creating a burner account to harass him. I also talked about this in my last video and read his full caption. I'm not going to read it again. Feel free to pause the video to read it all the way through. To summarize it, he believes the bot account is Karla and is calling her immature, accusing her family of blackmail, and saying she can't handle being called out about her flaws and she's not complying with divorce requests. Now, if you recall in their text exchange, Karla said she wants the lawyers and producers to handle the details of the divorce, which isn't non-compliance, just a different approach than what Wancho suggested. And by the way, Karla denies creating fake accounts to harass Wancho and says she doesn't know of anyone who would do that. Okay, so then Owancho went back on Instagram to create this video. I showed an edited version of it in my last video. It's kind of long, it's over 7 minutes. I'll leave it at the end of this video in case you want to watch it. In it, he's repeating everything he said in his documentary he wrote in the comment section of that YouTube video. And he added that he's engaged his lawyer just in case it comes to that. Well, in the comment section of his video, Wancho and one of Karla's friends had this to say to each other. Just to clear things up, our talent representative sent us all a memo on March 12th stating that they don't handle the divorce. We're all responsible for handling our own divorce, and they will reimburse us up to a certain amount, which I can't disclose because it's confidential. Not sure if she's had the chance to read it. All I was trying to do is go ahead and fill out the paperwork, take care of the fees so she doesn't have to, and file after the last episode to make it clean and painless for both parties. Exactly. You approached her about the divorce in February before the memo was sent out. Peace. I already had the memo. It was February 26th. I wasn't aware she didn't have the memo. Okay, in his first comment, Wancho said the memo was sent out on March 12th. Then, after Karla's friend said he approached Karla for a divorce in February, he said he got it on February 26th. Not sure what he was trying to say, but basically, the friend was saying he was asking Karla if he could get started on the divorce process before they could legally file. And Karla's response was based on not knowing what was in the memo that was sent 14 days later. And in talking to me, Karla has made it clear that she wants a divorce and she has no intentions of holding up the process. But wait, there's more. Wancho sent this DM to Maz Fan to once again explain his side of this never-ending story. FYI, I think it's important to add to this context that whatever the big secret is confidential information that she's not even supposed to know or talk about per our NDA and contract. And there's the problem. Even if we are now in the public eye, we all deserve the right to our privacy, and we have the responsibility to uphold our contracts and protect each other and the network with any and all confidential information. This is clearly a breach of contract and a clear threat to release confidential information. If I don't stay within the parameters of what they want to hear, I have the right to express my opinion based on aired content on the show. Nothing more. So my issue is not even her sister's response. My issue is her getting personal with information she shouldn't even be mentioning per our contracts. If they want to trash me based on what was aired, by all means do it, but respect my privacy and furthermore, the contracts we all sign. Feel free to post this because this is really what it's all about. So I believe he's talking about the NDAs they signed for the show. Now, I've only seen snippets of their contracts, but generally, an NDA for a TV show covers production related information like no behind the scenes secrets, no spoilers, can't talk about how filming works or what producers say when the cameras aren't rolling. They usually don't cover private information shared between cast members, because if that's the case, there would be no show and definitely not an after party where the cast spills the tea and gives more details about what we missed behind the scenes. Think about it. How many reality shows depend on betrayal for ratings? In other words, it's unlikely Juancho's secret is covered by the show's legal paperwork. In any case, at the end of the day, he's afraid of his secret getting out. Now, earlier I mentioned that Karla sent me a scenario where Juan lied on her. So Juan said that he gets up early to work out and Karla gets up at 1 in the afternoon, kind of insinuating she's lazy. I think he mentioned this on decision day. Well, it just so happens Karla was recording Juancho the day he was telling her it's time to get up because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the clip.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
By your turn.
This is unbelievable. Waking up, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now check out the time Karla taped this video. It's 8:07 in the morning. Now I would think he was being playful and exaggerating if he hadn't brought it up on camera. Karla also mentioned to me that she teaches 8 a.m. Pilates classes Wednesdays and Thursdays, meaning she's not lazing around the house until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So Kevin brought this up while they were taping the reunion show, and afterwards, Karla texted Juancho screenshots of the 8:07 clip. She said, "And this, my friend, is what Kevin was talking about? Me waking up at 1 p.m.? And it was 8:07 a.m. Too funny. I didn't even remember that. I do. I see that. So Juancho thought it was funny, but Karla wasn't amused that millions of people have the misconception that she's lazy. Karla also mentioned to me that she and her family don't mind that Juancho is not interested in her. They don't like that he lies about her to make himself look good. I did notice that both Karla's friend and her sister replied to Juan using their real profiles, and Karla expressed her unhappiness with Juan in DM under her own name. I'm the one that hid everyone's social handles in this video so that they wouldn't be shown. To me, they don't sound like people who are hiding behind fake accounts to express themselves. Oh, and by the way, this is one of the posts Karla had in her stories during all of this. Everybody is ugly to someone. Some think I'm hideous. Some want to eat my ass like a cupcake. That's life. Okay, so that's the story behind Juancho's accusation of Karla and her family's blackmail attempt, as I understand it. So what do you think? Does this feel like blackmail to you? Do you think Karla is behind the fake account? Or maybe someone from Reddit or someplace else? So far, Karla is the only one who has offered any type of receipts. Do you think Juancho needs to provide some? I mean, regardless, it's disappointing. It looked like they had a good friendship going. I hope they can get past this and see that this is all a big misunderstanding or something. And as promised, I'll leave Juancho's video here, and I'll also sign off here as well because that's all I have for now. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next video.
Hey guys, if you looked at my last story, I really truly hate that it has come to this. It's sad. It's sad because my experience so far on Married at First Sight has been great. You know, I went on Married at First Sight because I thought, you know, it would be an interesting way to meet the love of your life. But I was also very realistic about my expectations because, you know, the survival rate of couples on the show is like 20%. So there was an 80% chance that, you know, we wouldn't make it, or I would be matched with someone that that I wasn't really into. And I was okay with that. I up front, I told myself, Juan, you're going to have the best time regardless of who you're matched with, which I did. And I'm not going to lie, Karla and I had a great time, but we all watched the show. And, there's been a few places online where people have said that I've robbed Karla of the opportunity to find love on this show. And Karla didn't rob me of anything, and I didn't rob Karla of anything either. Look, when you go on Married at First Sight, you don't have no contractual obligation to love, cherish, respect, or anything. I mean, you've seen it season after season where a person is not into the other person and they're literally mean to them. And I never was that. I wasn't into Karla for very obvious reasons. Number one, I think she's a pretty girl, but everyone has their type, and she's just not my type. She is just not my type. Physically, she's just not my type. Number two, she let her lease run out and moved into a storage unit. I get it. You wanted to save money while you're filming the show, but I wasn't very fond of that. I mean, that's just not showing me responsibility, and it's not showing me stability, which I was fine with. I helped her move into the storage unit. I didn't make a big deal about that, whatever. She lost her job, and she actually got fired from that job because she didn't see eye to eye with her boss. That's fine, but listen, this was all televised. Even though maybe I didn't make a huge deal out of it, you guys saw I wasn't necessarily happy. She had no plan. I asked her about her plan, and she had no plan. She had a job that she booked in New York, which she didn't even have a rate for. Okay, whatever. We went on. I respected her. Her lifestyle. Look, I respect it. I don't disrespect her lifestyle, but it doesn't align with me. I'm not into the tarot. I'm not into the burning of the sage every day, Palo Santo. If my mom is Catholic and my brother reads tarot, it doesn't define me. We just didn't align. Like, I'm not into the crystals. It's too much. It was just too much for me, and it's not like I didn't talk about it. I did talk about it on the show. I'm not into that. Karla on the show, like, you could just tell, like, she doesn't really know how to cook. I mean, in one of the episodes, she didn't know how to turn on a gas oven. She didn't really help me clean the apartment much. For me personally, those are things that are things that are like, core values that they weren't in line with my lifestyle. And at the end of the day, I saw no future with Karla. That's it. I don't think there's anything wrong with Karla. Karla, there's a person out there for Karla, and there's a person out there for me. The worst part about this is that there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes in confidentiality, and there's things that Karla did on the show which I won't talk about because I don't want to hurt her personal integrity and reputation. There's 3 things that Karla did that I should have just stepped away, but I didn't. I kept going out of respect, and I'm never going to publicly talk about those. Now, her family, obviously, everyone has things that are confidential to their life. And these are confidential things that we signed NDAs and said that we weren't going to share. And they're literally blackmailing me because I'm talking my truth when being asked, why didn't you like Karla? Look, I'm not saying anything that wasn't televised. These were all things that were televised, and these were all concerns, and we talked about them. It's not like I didn't call him out on the show. I did. So now they want me to change my narrative, and they're blackmailing me. They're blackmailing me and telling me that if I don't talk nice about Karla, is basically what they're saying. Like, then I mean, it's crazy. So, I hate that this is happening. Like, I really thought highly of Karla and her family until now, because this is just crazy. Creating a bot account to go after me and talk crap about my girlfriend. Who knows what they're going to post on that account? And I just hate for this to go into legal, because I don't want it to go that way. I should be able to speak my truth without having people blackmail me and tell me, things that are in confidentiality. It's just sad, guys, and I'm coming up on here to make this statement because this is crazy. Like, this is truly crazy. I didn't think that I was going to have to deal with this. I should be able to speak my truth about my experience on Married at First Sight and why it didn't work out with Karla. And these were all things that maybe I didn't call him out like other people on the show did, you know, for their partners, the things that didn't dislike them, but I did. And I just didn't make this huge deal out of him like everybody else did. I just respected her and I said, look, I don't agree with this, but let's have fun. Let's keep going and seeing, you know, where we gel. And we never gelled. We never gelled, period. That's it, guys. I have nothing against her and her family, but this is just too much. Like, if you guys know her, reach out to her and say, look, you need to relax. Like, he had his experience on the show and it's a valid experience, and I should be able to talk about everything that was televised. I'm not talking about anything that happened in confidentiality or private, and making accounts to like bully me, you know, this is just crazy. I never thought that this was going to come to this, but anyways, it is what it is. And if it goes further, you know, I have a lawyer, he's already engaged, and we will go after whoever we need to go after if they're jeopardizing my integrity and reputation, you know, because this is wild. This is wild. Hey guys, if you look